And there's our panels glued on with the body panel epoxy bond glue, whatever you want to call it. Now we riveted pretty tight all the way around, and the reason for that is because you can't get clamping force behind it. This glue, you got to put it on both panels, spread it, and then put them together, and then clamp. And if you can't clamp, either you screw it together. Now in the last truck, we just ran a bunch of screws, and after about 4 hours, we slightly tightened them. That just basically cracks them loose and then spun them out. And then we let it cure, and we used fiberglass filler and filled them shut. Now some guys, there's a channel out there, I believe he's out in British Columbia, but anyways, really good channel. Go check him out. I think it's Midnight Customs, if I'm not mistaken. But he does a lot of trucks as well, and what he likes to do is when he pulls those out or whatever, he'll put rivets in and put glue around the rivets. So what I did here, because we had the glue seeping out with a few screws holding it on, every time we re-drilled a hole and put a rivet in, we just spun some glue around it and shoved it in. Once we were all done, we basically just smudged it smooth and then put the excess in the rivet holes. And the idea there, again, is just to epoxy everything shut. We're still going to grind them all flush. We're still going to do a load of filler on here and basically, block it out. You can see how our piece turned out. We got our curve, so it mostly matches the truck. It fits nice and tight up under the bottom. We even cut a little notch back here to mimic how it looked from the factory. You can see that. And then on the bottom down there, there's an oversized rivet going up into the inner structure, like a really big rivet. I had a hard time crushing it by hand, but and then two little ones beside it. So that basically just holds it to the structure at the very bottom tip. As that edge was not the best, it was solid, but it was a little bit rusty. So we glued it. Will the glue hold? I don't know. It was a little rusty. And the guy that owns this truck didn't want any inner structure fixed, so just panel it so it's good enough. So that's all we're doing. We did have a few places where the inner structure was okay. We put a few rivets in and glued them in as well. So this thing is solid. It's not going nowhere. The plastic piece inside fits right in there and laps into the fender just the way it's supposed to. So we're happy. This will block out good. Now you could have went right to the corner here, but then you got to blend this corner. You're going to have a harder time. Now I don't know if you noticed this, but we did go around when it was screwed and we gently knocked it in all the way around, so the panel is slightly in. And the idea there is if this is in a bit, we won't have to put as much filler. But even if we do, there's nothing wrong with filler. Even though this is lapped, the filler can only be as thick as this panel by the time we're done, which is nowhere near 1/8 of an inch, right? It's going to be basically whatever 18 gauge steel is, so it's pretty thin, which is more than acceptable. And on an old work truck, that'll be just fine. And if it's anything like the last one I've done, we had less space than this, and we were able to block that from here to here, and it actually blocked out before the edge, so it blended in pretty well. But that's basically it. A couple spots there I'm a little curious about. Might have to put a patch in there yet, but so far this is where we're at, and that hard piece going down was solid. There's a soft spot though, right? You can see where it's a little dark right here. That's nothing, but that's something right there. So we might have to cut a little chunk out of there and see what we want to do. Now, if you were doing an old hot rod and you wanted a forever repair, this would work fine for you. But if I was working on an old car that I want to last forever, that's going to be stored, I don't want a lot of filler in it, we'd do the same thing. We wouldn't glue anything. We'd screw it in, tack it, whatever you want to do, and then we'd basically run our grinder. We'd do a cut and butt, or we'd do a little 1/4 inch lip and do a lap weld. But at any rate, people say the lap weld isn't as good as the butt weld. Butt welds are only good if you're good at doing them and you're getting penetration through and through. If you can't see the backside, you might want to get really good at it before you try that. Now that said, I'd weld it on just because I want it to last for 40 years. I want this to last maybe 5. And if it starts coming apart in a few spots, the truck at that point will be a beater. So we're not going to worry about it. This is already 15, You know, this is like a 13, 14, 15-year-old truck, and this is the guy's second truck. This is his winter beater and bush truck. He has a nice truck that he drives around daily, so we're not too worried about this. But this can basically work. So with a cheap shrinker stretcher and a piece of metal, you can make panels, especially if you're working on an old Buick or an old AMC. There's a lot of cars out there. There's no panels available. They just don't exist. Depending on what country you're in, I know there's panels I can get in the US, but with shipping it would cost a fortune, so we're not going to bother because I'm in Canada. So depending where you're located, that could be a factor as well. But all in all, this will work. It's been working since the beginning of, you know, the auto body trade. The 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s, most of this panel stuff wasn't available. A guy would just put a sheet metal on and, you know, put a few bends in it, fill it, basically sculpt the box side and call it a day, and people would drive it for another 5-10 years. And I mean, by that time most vehicles are scrapped, right? They weren't always going to be classics. You got to keep that in mind too. Now the more modern they get, the harder they are to get parts for when they're old. Stuff like this, they may become a classic, but they're going to be a little bit harder to work on going forward, so we'll see how that goes. But this is a work truck, and this worked just fine. We have about 5 hours. Now that includes cutting it out, cleaning all the junk and dirt out and everything else. We've got 5 hours into that. I figure that probably ate up 2. Gluing it on, everything else, prepping it, grinding it. So the other side will likely take 2.5. And after that, we'll probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, say 4 hours worth of body work to get each side nice and smooth. Now that's not all work. We took some breaks, had a drink, that sort of thing. But also, you can't do it all consecutively because when you put your filler on, we're going to really throw her on there, so we have lots to block off. But we want to make sure we do that and let it dry. So there's dry time. So it might take a couple of days, but if you actually count the hours, it's not bad. And if you're looking at making money doing this kind of thing, you can make a little bit, but the trick is when this is drying, like right now, I'm going into the house for the day because we're in the middle of a heat wave. It's 2 o'clock, and it went from 20 in here this morning, and it's just about to hit 30, and it's really humid. So we're going to let this cure till tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we'll do the other side. And if the weather's a little better, when the other side's glued on like this, we'll just come to this side and do our body work on this side. Following day, do it on the other side. You get the drift. And if we're waiting on both things to dry, we'll pull these off. This needs a patch about 1 foot long down here. And we're basically just going to clean up and gravel guard the rockers. Nothing more. That's all we're doing there. So like I say, work truck, right? The worst part of this truck was that piece right there. And I mean, with a couple of cheap tools, you know, it was doable. Now I ended up not using the bead roller at all. We basically put it in the bender, but we didn't bend it sharp. We used the bender to hold it down. We just pushed the edge down, so we have not a real hard edge. And with this one, we did the same thing, but we did a 90. Well, we did a hard 90 on the bender, but we only bent it a little bit. And then we hammered it over, and we actually used a pair of tong vice grips. They're like clamps, right? And we just worked it over gently because we also hammered that edge because we didn't want it perfectly straight. So as we bent it, we tried to bite it a little tighter in the middle. What that does is it'll put a little bit of curve to it. To get our curve that way, we made it almost straight. So that was just, we ran it through the shrinker a little bit. And basically, we had already shrunk that side first, like I showed you earlier in the other video, or maybe I put all the videos together, but whatever. We just basically shrank that until it looked like that side, and it's real close. It seems to have the same curve. Now, you can get those curve gauges. I'd show you one of those, but I'm not going to go digging through the drawer. Basically, there's a bunch of fingers in it. You can push it up against it, and it'll take the shape. So you can check it from side to side. Now, this is a work truck. We're good. We're happy. We're going to be able to fill this out, blend it all in, and it'll be just fine. We may have a little bit of filler in this area here, but everywhere else it'll be pretty thin, and this is like more than acceptable. We'll be fine. Filler's your friend. You're not going to get it straight without it. Now, you could spend the time to metalwork and metalwork and metalwork. If I was going to do that to this truck, we just put a new skin on the whole side. And that probably costs like $1,500, maybe $2,000 Canadian. I don't know what they cost now. Last one I priced was about $1,500-1,600 plus taxes. So you could skin this. Now, if this truck was going to completely be redone, and it could be, this is a super low mileage truck. It's actually quite nice. The seats are like new because he's always had these nice covers. This is the second set he's put on. So, you know, dash is clean, all that. Like, nice truck. Looks really good inside. Carpet's clean. Like, for his beater work truck, it's a pretty nice truck. Now, that said, there's a few other things. Like I say, it's a beater truck. Now, I'm not going to show you his plates. But if you look here, the bumper is a little bit messed up. He doesn't care. He says he might change it later. He might not bother. It doesn't bother him. The wheel wells bothered him a little bit. But the big hole right here in the side of the truck definitely bothered him. So we've got that taken care of. We've already won. Thanks for watching.